Oke, Netanako Unagumsika Abskapi Bukani. My name is Gyasi Ross. I come from the Blackfeet people of Montana. My family is also from the Kaina people across the border in Canada. My family, finally, is from the Suquamish people of Washington State. I was fortunate enough to have the privilege of running a column that was written by the 4 founders of Idle No More, and that piqued my curiosity and I wanted to learn more about it. Moreover, I wanted to learn how to help and how to mobilize other people to help. And then finally, I was curious about the movement as not only in Canada, an abstract concept where, we're just giving moral support to Canada. I wanted it to be something concrete and tangible for us here in the United States and try to figure out how to effectuate positive change in the United States. And so that's what we started to do. And we've seen a progression, incredible litany of Idle No More events. We've seen them across the nation, in Minnesota, in LA, in Phoenix, here in Washington State, in New York, in Washington, D.C. I was in Washington, D.C. last week for the inauguration, and we had an Idle No More event there. At the powwow, the inaugural ball powwow, there were folks that had signs that were giving deference to the Idle No More movement. So it's important for you folks north of the border to understand that your movement is resonating down here. And even more importantly, we've taken the inception, the genesis of that movement and made it our own. And we've started to use it to effectuate positive change down here, to organize using that platform called Idle No More. So for that, we say thank you, and we will continue to use that to the best of our ability. As an organizer, Idle No More has been a dream. And what I mean by that is, for many years, a lot of us have looked for a way to kind of skip through to the grassroots of Indian country. Yeah, sure, we're there. We go to powwows, we see people at different events, basketball tournaments, round dances, etc. But how do we organize these quote unquote normal people, normal Indians, to mobilize politically? And I couldn't come up with the answer to that. But fortunately, these 4 ladies, these 4 Canadian sisters, found a just absolutely ingenious method by virtue of the Idle No More movement. And the Idle No More movement has been incredible in generating some buzz surrounding mobilization of Indian people. Now we have youth, generations of, multi-generations of people involved that are going to the round dances and that are interested, even tangentially, in making things positive change for Native people. Now, that's cool, that's incredible. And if I had to analogize it, I would analogize it to the promotional push before a movie comes out. There's been a great amount of noise, of buzz, of newspaper articles, social media, etc., that talks about the Idle No More movement, and we've just now begun to give it form and to say exactly what it is. And now I think that just like any movie, using that analogy of the promotional push before a movie comes out, just like any movie, it's important that we come through with the stuff, with the goods of the movie that actually matches the promotional push. We have to make the movie good. And so far, we don't have a movie. There hasn't been a movie. And the reason why is because there has been no concrete or tangible change as a result of the Idle No More movement. That's not an insult, that's a good thing. That means we're dealing with a blank slate and we still have an opportunity to make a lot of positive change. In other words, our best days are in front of us. But it's also dangerous because, like any movie, before it comes out, it has the possibility to flop or to be a blockbuster. We need to make this a blockbuster, and the way we do that is by actually starting to wrap the Idle No More verbiage, the Idle No More veneer around tangible policy changes. There's an act here in the United States called the Violence Against Women Act. In the United States, because reservation lands are federal properties, the federal government and the tribes have concurrent jurisdiction. However, the feds rarely prosecute sex crimes against Native women. So what that has done is it's left Native women to be particularly vulnerable for attacks by non-Native perpetrators. The reauthorization specifically mentioned that tribal courts can prosecute non-Native perpetrators of violent or sexual acts against Native women. However, the Republican House of Representatives said we're not willing to protect Native women against non-Native perpetrators of sexual crimes. We've been able to mobilize as a result of this Idle No More thing, this Idle No More movement. We're going to contact our representatives. We're going to work with nationwide a whole bunch of nonprofit organizations, a whole bunch of individuals to try to make some positive change, and that's what this is about. We've also been doing organizing around the so-called Bellingham coal port, and that is where City of Bellingham is looking to make a deep water port to be able to transport coal. Now, a lot of these grounds where this coal is going to be transported are the ceremonial grounds of the Lummi tribe, as well as other tribes. And so they have a different type of respect other than just commerce for this water and for these lands. And so we're trying to figure out the proper devices to hopefully get injunctive relief, create political pressure, and be able to ultimately shut down this coal port in Bellingham. We need to actually start putting tangible activism pieces, phone calls, letters, emails to representatives, votes. Start putting political pressure on the people that make these decisions in order to show the success or failure of the Idle No More movement. Ultimately, the success or the failure of the Idle No More movement will be determined by showing these concrete things that contributed to positive change. That's one of the reasons why some people question the ultimate effectiveness of the Occupy movement, because they'll say, well, the Occupy movement created this incredible energy. It was incredible energy. It was positive energy. People were bonding together. But what came as a result? We want people to say, because of the Idle No More movement, we have this and this and this, and these are positive things. This is, we've reduced the amount of narcotics trafficking on Indian reservations or reserve land. This is, we killed C-45. This is, we authorized the Violence Against Women Act in the United States. We want that sort of bill of particulars that we can put behind the Idle No More movement to say, no, see, we can actually create tangible change. The songs, the dances, getting together as Native people is an absolutely beautiful thing. But we can do that on our own. We need the Idle No More movement to be more than just those things. We need it to be the cause, the proximate causation of some positive change within our communities. And that's ultimately how the Idle No More movement will be judged. There will be constant attempts to poke holes in this movement. And just quite simply, we cannot give concession. We cannot give ground to anybody for anybody to say that there's weakness amongst the ranks. This is bigger than any one individual. This is bigger than any one tribe. This is bigger than, you know, the ladies who started this are amazing. They're inspirations, but it's bigger than them. It's avalanche to the point where everybody has ownership of this. All of us own a piece of it, therefore all of us are responsible for it to make sure that it's kept continued life and vitality. When people look back in 10 years' time, 5 years' time, they'll say the Idle No More movement still, at that time, is still a vehicle for change. But in 2012 and 2013, it helped to prompt some substantial, tangible changes in the way Native people and non-Native people treated the environment, treated Native women, treated Native children, etc., etc. It helped to make Native people's lives better.